Okay, I saw some Omega Strikers news pop up. Um, I'm a little concerned. So I have the help of my friend here to maybe help get me through it. Let's see what these guys have to say.
Hey, I'm Dax, aka Audi Lunch Boy.
And I'm Richard, aka Audi Maple.
You've probably already noticed this dev update is a little different from what we usually do. We're going to be taking the mic from Sony today because we've got some heavier news to share.
Okay, that's exactly why I needed a drink for this. They don't look super happy either, so yeah, let's keep hearing.
We're going to talk about the future of Omega Strikers and what that means for Odyssey. First, we want to give you a window into our world, a window into how we ended up here today. We started Odyssey a little over 3 years ago, just 4 founders working out of Maple's basement with big dreams for the future. We set out to build games that ignite the world's competitive spirit, games that bring you and your friends together with other players from around the world, games that challenge you to keep growing your skill, games that are filled with characters that you grow to love, and most importantly, games that are worthy of your time for years to come. While our team has grown a little bit over those 3 years, our dreams remain the same. Omega Strikers is our first shot at reaching those dreams, and the journey to get to where the game is today was anything but certain.
When we first started, we worked for months on some.
Oh boy, that looked pretty silly.
That spark of inspiration for a game that we could really build around. Like I said, many of them were pretty rough, but we learned a little bit more with each one. And then one day when I was driving Repertoire and Lunch Boy back to the airport, it hit us like lightning. Rocket League of Legends.
Yeah, that's what we called
When
it.
we got back, we quickly threw together a prototype that had the essence of the game that you all know today. And
it looks pretty rough, but
it's fun for the first time.
Pretty
But
ugly.
we didn't know if we trusted ourselves after being locked in the basement. So we went searching for some players to tell us if they thought the game had some promise as well. To that end, we did our first playtest of Omega Strikers back in December of 2020. with students from the University of Waterloo. It lasted about a week, and it was amazing. We got to listen to them laughing and screaming over Discord with their friends over this little game that we'd thrown together in about 5-6 weeks. And
That's pretty much how I felt. Oh, that's a good pause, by the way. How I felt when I played the beta last year. Like it felt so good. It felt really fun to really get into it. Anyways, let's keep this going.
they came back every single night to play, which shocked us because the game looked nothing like the game you knew today. It even had mobile controls that you had to use on a computer. It was wild. I can still remember coming back after the holidays and seeing a message in our community Discord that was basically just, when's the next set of playtests? I can't wait to play more Project P. That was the first time that we'd finally felt a sense of validation that the game actually had this core nugget of fun that was worth really building around for the future.
So those playtests, they were like rocket fuel to us, and they propelled the development of Omega Strikers forward. And a little over a year ago, we launched Omega Strikers into its open beta.
Hell
We
yeah.
were so nervous. We had spent just 2 years putting the game together, everything from developing characters like Juno and Juliet to the tech that you need to
The
ship the game.
Jays.
We had so many questions going into that beta. Would people like our characters? Would the server
He looks
be
so
stable?
sad.
And most importantly, would the world think that the game was fun?
The days and weeks that followed the launch of the open beta were some of the most exhilarating times of my life as a game developer.
Oh, hell
We got to
yeah.
watch millions of people play their first matches with their friends. We watched YouTube videos of people's highlight reels. We watched the country Brazil go up against Moist Critical. We got to watch people scream on Twitch at the top of their lungs as they got KO'd by X repeatedly.
Oh, yeah.
And we got drowned in fan art that you see on the wall
Excellent.
behind us, which was incredible. It was our dream coming true. But within a few weeks, it was also apparent that despite all the great aspects of Omega Strikers, players only ended up really playing for a few weeks before they moved on to other games. And
I definitely noticed this a lot in the beta. Like, I was playing it every day. I was loving it. It was so much fun. Like, it was great. But after a few weeks, you really did see like the fallout. I'm really good at pausing it, by the way. Like, holy, these poses. But yeah, it was just like, it was so fun. But then eventually you just saw like the big drop off of people like just kind of moving on, and it's kind of sad. All right, so let's keep this going.
And this is ultimately a good thing because it means there are other great games out there deserving of your time. But we want to be able to build a connection with you, the player, for many, many years. So we knew we had work to do.
It's nice
So
to
we made
say
some big
that,
changes.
but
We shook up the
you
core
want people to be
gameplay,
playing your
expanded out to
game.
console and mobile, and we set up a wild marketing campaign to try and help promote the game. We did things in that campaign that we didn't think were possible. We built a trailer with Studio Trigger.
trailer
We were
was
featured
so
in the
good.
Nintendo Direct alongside some of the most legendary game franchises in history. And we had collaborations with amazing content creators like Alpharad and Sea Dog. Even though we're a small studio, we wanted to do everything in our power to give Omega Strikers the best chance to succeed. We adore this game and wanted nothing more than to continue working on it for years to come. And yet, well,
Oh,
we've
here
seen our
comes.
stints. Despite our best efforts, we haven't been able to grow Omega Strikers.
Realistically, as a game dev, there's a million reasons why this could be the case. It could be that competitive air hockey is fundamentally niche. Maybe the gameplay
That's
wasn't
for
deep
sure.
enough. Maybe we need to figure out a way to pop off on TikTok, or maybe the world just wasn't ready for X. One of the
That's
things that
mostly
makes game
true.
dev fascinating and frustrating is that you can always feel like you are so close, that you're just one iteration away from solving the core problem that you need to in order to grow. But that line of thinking can also be a bit of a trap.
Oh, jeez. Like they definitely were. Like, people loved trying it immediately. Like, it had some pretty good numbers, but yeah, like, it dropped off so fast after the first month. And I could say, yeah, they were definitely close to getting on something. Holy crap. But anyways, let's keep this going.
As a studio of 40, it's just tough. We want to be able to keep trying to make Omega Strikers work, but we also need to make sure that we can keep the lights on at the studio.
Send them more
And
content.
as much as it pains us to say, Omega Strikers make significantly less money than it costs us to build and maintain. And that would likely remain true at this point unless we had some huge spike in playership, which is unlikely after
Yeah.
everything that we've tried to make.
Yeah,
a full
that's
launch
for
a
sure.
success.
So here's what we're doing. By the end of the year, the full Odyssey team is pivoting to work on new games set in the Omega Strikers universe.
Oh,
With
interesting.
our next update, we'll stop making new content updates for Omega Strikers.
First
Servers
person
and matchmaking are
Drekar
gonna
shooter
stay on.
game.
We're going to polish up the
No.
custom games tool, and we're going to continue releasing
kinda cool.
balance updates for the foreseeable future. But there won't be any more new skins, maps, strikers, awakenings, or striker passes. This tears us up. Myself, Maple, the whole
jeez.
Odyssey team. It's not something we ever wanted to say. And we know that it's not something that you ever wanted to hear.
Definitely not.
We love this game. We love these characters, and most of all, we love this community that's formed around them.
Ah, shit.
You're the reason that we got into game development in the first place, and it hurts us to have to let you down. But for Odyssey to have a shot in the future, we need to take what we've learned from Omega Strikers and use it to build something new.
Like Lunch
It's
just
good to
said,
hear.
Ultimately, we, all of us, are super optimistic about our future as a studio. Because making games is really, really hard. But Omega Strikers showed us that, even though not a commercial success, we can make a game that's really fun and not like something you've seen before.
Yeah,
That makes us really
definitely.
proud. And now we want to take all those things that we learned, the characters that we've built, the
fuck.
community that's formed, the capabilities
I
that we
don't
have
want
as
to be
a team
swearing, but
to make something
jeez.
new and fresh. Because we believe with all that we've gained over the years, we'll be able to make even more amazing games for you in the future.
It's
Right
good
now,
to
these
hear.
games are really just early ideas and prototypes, so there isn't much that we can really show you. But just like with Omega Strikers, we want to develop alongside you. So we're going to be
Like a
doing a lot
super
of early
beta.
testing, and our existing
Yeah.
community
Alpha
is gonna be
even.
the first people to see the characters they know and love in the new experiences that we're cooking up.
Lastly, we want to say that we're incredibly grateful to all of you who bought skins and battle passes in Omega Strikers. One of the most serious ways that you can show you support a
Yeah,
game
like buying
is to
shit.
spend
Yeah,
not just your
that's
time,
that's
but your
exactly
money on
what we had to
The
do.
game's not going anywhere, and the content is still usable. But we don't want you to feel like that money was wasted. We're making a commitment now that any money spent on Omega Strikers content will be granted to you as premium currency in our next game. So,
Oh,
whether you
interesting.
just joined us recently, or were one of those first testers of the game back in December 2020, whether you make .exe videos on YouTube, create fan art, or headcanons of Omega Strikers characters, compete in tournaments, or just simply enjoy playing the game, we can never say enough how much we appreciate you. The fact that you chose to put yourself into something we've built, that's the dream for us. So, we don't know exactly where the future will lead us, but we hope we've earned your trust enough that you'll stay with us on this journey. Until next time.
Oh, that's a terrible way to go, but they're optimistic. They're wanting to try something more and use a lot of their assets that they had for strikers and use them in something new, maybe something that actually can generate something for them, because it would suck that the studio would not be able to succeed at what they want to try to do. That's rough. I think that's a cool idea though. Like, anything you spend on strikers right now, if you just want to get some skins, look a little cool, that you will get currency for whatever they come up with. That's a really great incentive. That's a nice idea, and I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, I don't know what kind of game they're wanting to build. Like, maybe it's not super niche like Strikers is, or should I say was? Oh, is that too soon? Oh, it's too soon. But yeah, it's a lot to take in. Like, cause like this is the first game I started my channel with. I love Strikers. I wanted to do stuff around it, and I got to a certain point. Like, I love doing stuff. I love making like my montages. I did my X Plays of the Weekend month. I held the contest, but at a certain point it was just I couldn't really keep it going. And like, I did want to, but at the same point it just didn't feel as authentic anymore, and it was hard to get my pals interested in playing. It was a difficult road to go down, because this is exactly what happened in beta. Like, you would just see a big player base fall off, and it was disheartening. Like, you just see like the same people, you just queue up with them constantly, and if you lost to them before, chances are you're gonna lose to them again. You don't really, you just kind of deal with the sweatiness. And maybe, yeah, it was a bit too nichey, and maybe the game was just trying to be a little too hyper competitive for what it was. Like, obviously you have games like Rocket League that just excel with crazy high-end competition, and that game's been a staple in a lot of people's hearts for a really long time, and it continues to do so. And it's not like a shooter game where like everyone loves playing shooters, and it just can't stick. Like, it's not, it stands out, but it doesn't get enough. It's really hard to hear, but let's see the end here. I know they're just gonna do like maybe a little memorial.
Sync it. I did opposite hand, so it was mirrored. Oh, sweet.
It's a beautiful picture. Oh, anyways, I'm a little distraught about this. Yeah, it sucks. So, hopefully the studio continues to do what they can, put their best effort forward. Keep trying to make something awesome happen. They created a great universe, lots of cool and vibrant characters, so hopefully they do something with it, and I look forward to hearing what they got. They did put out on their Discord that you can sign up for like a super early, or giga early, I think that was the word they use, for any of their whatever they're working on. So you can sign up, you can maybe get a little test early on to see what they're kind of coming up with, and yeah, I kind of can't wait and see. Anyways, pouring out for Omega Strikers, everyone. I don't know if I got people still interested in that in this channel, and if I do, I'm sorry that I kind of stopped doing stuff for the game. It was probably my fault, that's why the game went on. I was their, main contributor. Oh, she has thanks on her gloves. I didn't notice that. Oh. But anyways, yeah, pour one out for Omega Strikers. Probably gonna try to play some today. Oh shit. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I know you probably might have seen this already, but yeah, those are my thoughts on it. So take care. Have a good one.